No, I don't want to know his opinion. It's just going to be insulting. My point is this, Rick.
He was looking at you.
My point is this, Rick. We used to be able to decide what the content of this show was.
I know.
Now, it's him. It's just him. He wants to do Rockbusters, he gets to do it.
I know. And it's awful, but like Tourette's Trent D'Arby. Not only is that offensive, it doesn't work as a clue.
Saying that, have you come up with anything for this week?
What's the prizes?
I'll read out the prizes. We've got a brand new XFM, stylish XFM DJ bag.
That is actually quite nice, actually.
Yeah, we've got in there a 12-inch from the XFM remix album. This has got The Cure on there and the Prodigy remixes from them, which is quite handy. We've got a little mouse mat there with the XFM logo on, and here's what everyone's waiting for, the CDs and DVDs.
Yeah.
Once again, the X list. This is the compilation that XFM have put out. It's actually very good. Smash Hits, the reunion. Let me see what we got on there. Aha, obviously, Wham, Duran Duran, all your favourite 80s and 90s classics. Another copy of DVD, Steve Coogan's Run DVD. What else is this here? Low Fidelity All Stars, blah, 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 blah. There's Voodoo House and Ghost Funk on there, Rick. I'm sure that'd be right up your street. And, also on DVD, Man
Is that
Child.
with or without Wrecked Train?
So yeah, not a bad little selection there, Carl.
You've done well there. So go on and do the clues then. Let's do Rockbusters now.
Well, I'll bung a song on.
And wow, yeah.
I love the fact that he was taking the piss out of your voice. I'll bung a song on. Hey, it's Tripe and Cowheels tonight. Now as griddling as gravy.
To be honest, Carl, let's be honest, if Ricky Gervais can get voiceover work,
do you know what I mean?
There's got to be a place for me.
Where do you think the place for him is?
Well, look, right, you were talking about your face on the poster. It's not all bad, because I read something last night that can help you out. Right? And it's amazing. So we're talking about that.
Play a record, Carl.
Warren Zevon ain't that pretty at all on XFM.
104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Right, Carl, calm now. The Sonys, they're listening. We've got to win this award. We're just bickering. Right, what's this thing that can help Steve out? What are you talking about?
No, we'll talk about that in a bit.
What are we doing now,
We'll do Rockbusters, get that up and running.
Yes, sir.
Get the email busy.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Right.
okay. Go on then.
Right, so, you know how it works. Cryptic clues, initials.
Well, as I say every week, they're not strictly cryptic. It's more, what am I thinking that starts with these letters.
Is craptic a word? Is that a word? Craptic? Because...
Oh!
Anyway.
Oh, God.
So last week, one of them was, these people from the East Midlands can't help swearing.
Yeah, Tourette's Trent D'Arby.
Tourette's Trent
That's
D'Arby.
the sort of shite we're dealing with to try and get a Sony.
Right, so, here's the clues and that. First one.
And that. What are we after here? The artist?
Yeah.
The band name or solo artist?
It's, I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
Right.
Go on.
So the first one, the hitchhiker needs a lift, but in something bigger than a car.
Go on then, what's the initials?
VH, right? The hitchhiker needs a lift, but in something bigger than a car.
Yeah.
Right? Second one, don't be selfish, hand some of it out to your mates.
Right.
The initial there is C. Right?
Yeah.
Don't be selfish, hand some of it out to your mates. And the
Sure,
third
that's
one...
not what is Carl. He's selfish.
No.
Begins with C.
Right. And the third one, the Scottish fellas can't get into their emails.
Right, okay.
The Scottish fellas can't get into their emails.
Go on then.
Right, the initials there, KL. Right, so quickly again, the hitchhiker needs a lift, but in something bigger than a car, VH.
Yeah.
Don't be selfish, and some of that out to your mates, that's C.
This is your last chance, Carl.
And the Scottish fellas can't get into their emails.
If I hear
KL.
anything like Wet Knee Houston, or D Trout Spinners, or Tourette's Trent D'Arby coming out of this, we're never doing it again. Okay? Again.
Right, the first one was, the hitchhiker needs a lift, but in something bigger than a car.
Yeah, snappy, go on.
VH.
Yeah.
Right, that was Van Halen.
Van Halen. Halen a van.
Because he wanted something bigger than a car, that's the first one.
Yeah.
All the
Second one.
tenses are mixed up, everything, it's just... Go on.
Second one, don't be selfish, and some of that out to your mates, that was C, that was share. Alright. It's alright.
Yep.
And the third one, the Scottish fellas can't get into their emails, the initials there, KL, they, Kenny Loggins.
Right. Right, that's the last time we do Blockbusters. That is the last time we do it.
No.
It is. That's the last time. Give the prize to someone.
Kenny Loggins. I'm gonna give that one to...
Kenny Loggins. Have you got monkey news for this week?
Don't know if I want to do it this week. So, just 'cause breakfast do it and that, and just leave it maybe this week. See what happens. See if we need it. We'll see.
Sometimes I don't know. Play a record a minute, Carl. I'll talk to you off air. Play a record.
Or what?
What's the email address again?
ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Okay.
Right? That's where the email the answer's in.
So we've got to remind you whose show it is. Play a record.
Right.
Stop My Head, Ivan Dando, on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, and with me, arguing like nutters, are Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Okay. Alright? Calm down. Right.
Right, let's just chill. Let's just chill.
Yeah, right.
What did you do last night, Rick?
I watched I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I tried last week. I knew Tufnell was going to come through. I knew he was. I went to put a bet on, and it was 11-4. And I thought, oh, that's not worth it. I could put on 400 quid, and I reckon I'd have won 1100 because I reckon he's going to win.
Yeah.
So
that is annoying. I suppose if you could go back in time, you'd probably change things. Do you know what I'd do if I could go back in time? I'd go back in time, stop Hitler from being born.
But then it might be worse because someone else might have come along and he'd been even better. It's like a novel.
Yeah, you're right.
Ben Alton would write a novel like that or something, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Well, how things would be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I popped to the cinema last night, and it was a joy of an experience because for the first time I went to see X-Men 2. I
want to see that.
Yeah, really
I saw one. I don't like that sort of thing. I've never been a comic book, never been a geek like yourself. Not yourself, but I mean, you're not a geek in that sense. You're different. I mean,
not in the traditional sense.
No.
I'm one of those sexier geeks. Those modern sexy geeks.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed it, and 2's meant to be even better, isn't it?
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's good fun. But more so than the film was the fact that the actual cinema experience, for the first time in a long time, I actually enjoyed it because I just had such a problem with the cinema.
Well, I can't go. I have to wait about 3 weeks till it dies down and go in the afternoon. I can't be sat next to people. I don't know why people go to the cinema to eat. Have something before you go in there.
Yeah.
Rattling, crunching. Why is this experience? This film has cost £50 million. It's meant to be an emotional, artistic experience. It's not meant to be something that's on while you're chowing down.
Yeah.
I don't know. People leave their mobile on. I want when someone answers it, go, I can't talk now. I want to go, don't smack them on their face with it.
Yeah. No, well, I went to the cinema a while back to see Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
That art house film. And, woman sat next to me, huge, fat blubber of a woman.
But it's up to her. She's earned enough money, she can eat more than she needs.
Sure, but don't squeeze into a seat next to me in the cinema. Right, with your flesh, you know, curving over the armrest that we're having to share.
Oh,
right,
God.
next to her, a little weasel of a husband. She's got one of those huge, kind of,
you don't reckon
hog-sized barrels of popcorn.
You don't reckon he was one of them feeders?
It was very similar. It really was. She, as you say, she's chowing down on the popcorn. She's one of those women who, she's not come out to see a film, she's come out to eat, and if a film happens to be showing, then she'll watch it.
Yeah.
Really winds me up. He's got the hot dog and everything. She's eating, and now popcorn already annoys me because
and she goes to him, are you gonna eat that? He goes, well, I was thinking of it. Give it to me, give it to me now.
But I don't know why it was that popcorn became the thing you eat in the cinema. It's like you say, you've made these films, and someone's there thinking, well, we've made this great film, we've got the sound mix right, but what we need is something that'll just slightly irritate everyone during the film.
And just see the size of the buckets they go in their popcorn.
But why not serve soup or something? Or yogurt?
Oh, the slurping would drive me mad.
But
and the spoon touching the bottom of the thing would drive me mad. Don't serve anything. There's no reason you have to do the cinema and go, oh God, I need to eat.
Well, this
plan it. You don't go and play tennis eating what you plan it, don't you?
Well, exactly. Exactly. Eat before we come out.
Yeah.
Have a sandwich, have a corned beef sandwich.
Do you know what, right? What annoyed me is I found out across America when they showed Schindler's List, they banned popcorn, right? Out of respect to the film. What? So they're saying all the other films, oh, sod it, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, this one cost 100 million. Ah, it doesn't matter. You can eat popcorn through that.
Yeah.
I mean, ban it through all films.
Well, this woman was one of those ones, she may as well have had a trough in front of her. I mean, she was a state, right?
Oh,
and she's
God.
She's an idiot as well. Because the trailer comes from, I remember at the time, the trailer came on for AI, that film AI.
Oh, yeah.
And, I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it, but it's something like, I don't know exactly, but it's something like, Martin is a, 6-year-old boy.
Yeah, he's 20 kilograms, he's 3 foot high, yeah.
But he is not human.
Yeah.
He's a robot.
Yeah.
And she's watching, she's just watching that, right? Bear in mind, the point of the trailer, he's a robot.
Yeah.
She says, how old was he again? I wanted to slap her. I was livid. I went, he's a robot. He's a robot, that's what's important. she's a trailer comes on for a war film. She goes, I shan't be seeing that. She just announces it. I shan't be seeing that. And I'm bored with war films. Bored with them. Next.
Oh God.
And then so the title card comes up for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. You know, like at the beginning, they everything. It comes up, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Now she's in the cinema. She goes, "What a stupid name for a film." I was thinking, well, you paid to see it, and then it says subtitles in brackets. She goes, "Oh, it's not subtitled, is it?" So it comes on, and I think in the film, I think they speak maybe Mandarin or Chinese or something. I'm not sure, but let's say it's Mandarin. So they come on, they start, and it's all subtitled, and they start speaking in this Mandarin or Chinese, and she just starts going, "Ah, ching chong chong, ah, ching chong chong, ah, ching chong chong chong," in the cinema, just saying that out loud.
No.
She and her boyfriend are cracking up. They're weeping with laughter, right? And I'm trying
He's
to watch
got to
this
laugh,
film.
otherwise she bites him.
Exactly. So I'm so livid, so I really make a show of getting up with all my stuff. I get up and I kind of clamber over some of the seats.
Yeah.
I sit down next to these two teenage girls with the mobile phone.
Oh, God.
Mobile phone goes off, and like you say, instead of, I mean, it should have been off anyway.
Yeah, of course.
But let's say, instead of it being, instead of immediately thinking, oh God, and switching it off hurriedly, they take the call in the cinema. I'm in the cinema. Yeah, no, I'm in the start having a conversation. And I was thinking to myself, you're 16, unless that is your business partner in Hong Kong phoning you, saying the deal is not gonna go through, which I suspect it's not. I suspect it's probably Gareth, or Gavin, or your boyfriend Tony saying, do you want to do me behind the bike sheds later?
Yeah.
I suspect that's who it is.
Yeah.
Switch off the phone! Or at very least, get out!
I know.
Get out of the cinema! But it just, I can't, I mean, I don't know where these people were brought up or raised. I don't know who it was that told them this was behaviour that you could do.
I really want to have cinema police.
Yeah.
Right, you go in there, and if the phone goes off, you get your money back and you're asked to leave.
Yeah.
Straight away. Any whispering, go, if you whisper again, you know,
Yeah.
if you're too stupid
To be able to figure out the plot.
yeah, just, they tell you what age you should be, right, to get that film.
Yeah.
That's it. If you listen and you're not eating and you're not talking, then you should be able to get a film.
And do you know what Ricky said is gonna be?
What?
It's gonna be more annoying.
Yeah, well, I just thought.
But this is a wonderful hypocrisy of it, because you've just been agreeing with me about how you hate people who are annoying.
Yeah, but only to friends, people like. The thing is, right, I've got to say a couple of things, right? The reason I sort of torture Carl is because, I don't know, I've got friends with defects. I don't know why. All my friends are slightly weird or stupid or something wrong with them. Carl's little round head, brain of a fish, right?
Yes.
I can't get my hands off his head. Robin Ince, he's got glasses, he waddles funny, he's got little thumbs, his thumbs are too short, right?
Sure.
I can't keep my hands off him, right? My mate, Rob, who did the flannels with me, he's got a perfectly round head, his teeth protrude slightly.
He's in America though for when you need a round bald head, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
in case
When I go to
right.
New York, or and he looks a bit like Dave Hill from
Interesting
Slate.
that you're collaborating on a book, but he chooses to live in America.
No, yeah. But could I just say also that I do not advocate the use of vices on friends' heads. It's dangerous. Do not squeeze your mate's head in a vice. That's just between me and Carl, and you know. And
Ricky Gervais is an experienced annoyer.
and he probably wouldn't let me do it, to be honest. I have to offer him an awful lot of money. Also, do not smoke. There's no point. And floss. I wish I'd flossed when I was a kid. Also, if you've got a bicycle or anything like that for Christmas, please wear the correct safety gear.
Whoa.
What?
Well, I got a bike as a kid,
Yeah.
right? And my dad, you know, I think the helmets used to come with them and what have you. I popped it on, went out on my bike, coming back into the garden. Dad sees me. He said, "Come here." I said, "What?" He said, "I never want to see you wearing that helmet again. You look ridiculous."
Oh, wow. He'd rather take the risk.
No one looks good in them though, do they?
Yes, they do. Wear the helmet. Neil Young and Heart of Gold on BBC Radio 2 with me, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, hello, and Karl Pilkington.
Alright.
We were asking for the worst Christmas gifts you've ever received, past or present, and there have been some absolute stinkers here. Pete Archer says, "I'm diabetic, and I once got 3 big tins of sweets." I mean, that's just rubbing it in. Cheska says, "I once got a Christmas tree from my brother on Christmas Day."
Was?
Long-term present, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it depends.
What do you mean?
Was it a plastic one or a real one?
We need more information. I got a fly mode from my 85-year-old gran, which was nice, but for the fact that I live in a flat.
Well, he could do the carpet.
There's one here, it says, Sid from Leeds, he says, I once received a PlayStation 2, which I really wanted. I didn't open it for a few hours while we had lunch, and I was looking forward to playing the game, a bit like you with your ZX Spectrum.
Yeah.
I opened up the box, and much to everyone else's enjoyment, there was 2 oranges and a pair of socks.
That's cruel.
But that's like, I mean, that's what kind of a family's that? I mean, in Carl's case, he actually forgot to buy the pack.
Harvest Festival, the vicar's got a PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
It's just the wrong label, isn't it? Yeah, he couldn't believe his luck. Coming up, actually, talking of vicars, a lot of vicars listening, apparently. I don't know how many that is. I don't know how many there are. But, Carl's gonna do a sermon. You remember, last week, he insulted vicars, saying they only work 1 day a week. He made a vicar swear.
Yeah.
Who said, maybe if I, give up my 1 day a week, I can become a DJ and do bugger all week. You made a vicar swear.
Yeah, but I didn't mean to, I just...
No, Gillian Oliver's phoned in, and she's the press, officer for the Church of England, and invited Carl to do a sermon. We've risen to the challenge. Carl's gonna do a bit of a sermon. That's when we've picked on. We're open to all religions here.
Yeah.
Maybe, in the future, Carl can do a sermon, for another denomination. I don't know, you know.
Well, it just depends, though, how sort of thick the book is.
Right.
So you want a religion with a smaller book?
Just a smaller book, and...
I just say I view all religions equally, because I'm an atheist. So I truly do view all religious beliefs equally. But, you know, just because I don't believe in it, a lot of people do, and Carl is gonna basically sum up the Bible. That's what we're doing today,
Should we play a record and then come back with the first part of Carl's sermon?
I cannot, I mean, honestly can't wait. I feel like squeezing his head during this record.
It, mate.
Stones, Waiting on a Friend. Great track.
Amazing tune.
So, Carl, you've studied the Bible over the last couple of days.
Well...
And you're gonna give us basically the Bible abridged, is that right? Just, condensed?
Just that, you know, it's that time of the year when religion...
Well, let's save it. Let's do a sermon. Everyone settle down at home, turn the radio up. This is, Reverend Karl Pilkington with, the history of the Bible.
Alright, thank you very much. Right, well, thanks for coming. Starting off, you know, I mean, I started off at the beginning of the book, what have you?
The Bible, we'll call it for the sake of argument.
Right. There's quite a bit missing. It doesn't say about how sort of God was already about, so it doesn't go right back to the beginning.
Right. Okay.
God's already knocking about and that.
Yeah.
Anyway, he made the world, right? He did all that, right?
Yeah.
He sorted out sort of sun in the day and that, so everything's light and you can see yourself about.
Right.
He did the stars and the moon for at night, right? I was thinking about that. If I was him, I probably would have just let it be day all the time rather than having 2 systems.
We're not criticising.
No, I'm not
Okay.
having a go, I'm just saying, I mean, it's easy now, isn't it, in hindsight, to sort of say, do you know what?
It's easy to really criticise him, but he was working...
He sort of loosened the top, you just got it off. Yeah, sure, he did a lot of the work, yeah, cheers.
No, I'm just saying though, like, they mess about with the clocks and that because of farmers getting up in the dark and that. If it was day all the time, less crime and that. I'm just saying it might have been worth an idea.
You missed a trick there, is what you're saying.
But he moves in mysterious ways, so you don't know why he's done that. He might be thinking something that your small brain can't really...
Fair enough. I'm not having a go, like I say, I'm just reading it and thinking about it, that's what it's all about, innit?
Yeah,
Education, get yourself
absolutely,
thinking.
yeah,
right?
go on.
Anyway, so, he did all that, he made the sun and that, and then he said, oh, make some creatures and stuff. He made a load of birds, loads of different birds, creatures, animals and that, because with the world being so big, it's like if you buy a big house, you need more furniture, don't you?
Right.
So he made this and he was like, oh, God, what am I going to fill it with? So this is why he did all these
Right. That's
animals.
not actually in the Bible, you speculated there on the mind of God.
Well, I'm sort of just treating it like it's his big house,
Right.
isn't it? And he's filling it, he's making it look nice, different birds and what have you. Right? It's just my opinion. Like
It's making it sound like the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
So anyway, right, so he does all that, and he thinks, right, I'll make a little man and a woman,
Sure.
who we all know as, like, Adam and Eve.
Yep.
Everyone knows their names, but at no point is their surname mentioned. Right?
Well, he's not going to have trouble with the post, is he?
So anyway, right, Adam and Eve are knocking about, God says to him, look, just enjoy yourselves and that, right? Do what you want, but I'll tell you this, I'm only telling you once, he said, don't be eating fruit from that special tree.
Yeah.
So, they were like, alright, fair enough. He said, the tree that I'm talking about is the tree of knowledge.
Yeah.
So that's sort of made it a little bit worse, because it sounds good and that, and you're like, oh, knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, don't go in that door. Yeah,
It's that sort of thing. Instead of just sort of not telling them. Because I don't know, see the tree of knowledge, what I add on it by what I can work out is, it's an apple tree, right? And it's pretty tempting, isn't it, to have a little cheeky apple, because I don't know what they were eating back then.
Right.
Do you know what they were getting by on?
No, I don't know.
Right, so anyway, so they were like, yeah, alright, whatever. Eve goes for a wander about.
Yeah.
Right? Killing time and that. Bumps into this snake.
Oh, yeah.
And Snake said, said, alright, you got an apple, right? And he was selling it, so he was going, it tastes good and that, right? And she's like, well, shouldn't really, but, I've been told that I shouldn't eat that, because I think God said to her at some point,
get on with it. You're on page 1 at the moment.
This is absurd.
This is just unbelievable.
I know, but I'm just
Just get to the point. You're on page 1. You haven't moved on. Just get. Okay, we know Adam and Eve. What have you learned?
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. He was saying don't eat it because it's dangerous.
I know. We know. Get on with it. Just get on. I mean,
But the thing is, people do eat things that are dangerous, don't they? Like, and pufferfish, even to this day, people are eating stuff that can kill them.
Yeah.
So it's not a threat. They're not that bothered. It's an apple, right? They're gonna have a little cheeky apple. Anyway, they eat it, right? God goes mental at them. He said, I told you not to do that. I've told you can enjoy yourself and everything. You've gone against what I said. You've eaten the apple. Adam and Eve sort of got told off and what have you. They went off and had kids. That added extra pressure. A lot of arguments happened, and that's kind of part 1.
that is amazing. That is amazing. So, you're an idiot. Really, you are an idiot.
Well, part 2 later then.
You better buck up your ideas in part 2.
In an effort to understand more about what makes a good tweet, Karl goes to visit the author David Baddiel.
I got interviewed by John Humphreys on Today about Twitter, and he doesn't like Twitter. And they said, well, you never tried it, John. And so his tweet was about what's wrong with not liking something you've never tried. That's a good tweet, because you'll get loads of people coming up with ideas and thoughts and arguments about that.
I wouldn't skydive.
Well, I've never skydived, and I've never done it, and I wouldn't do it, because I just have a sense that I'll be too frightened. Homosexuality.
Go on.
Well, I know I'm not gay, even though I've never tried it. Now, you could argue, well, if you tried it, you would find out, but I am...
I reckon you'd probably find it alright.
Do you think?
It's like all that weird stuff that people get up to, like having it away with a dead body or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, I never think about that,
Yeah.
but I imagine that if you think about it a lot, you can convince yourself to do it, and then you'll go, actually, it's alright. Like olives. I never used to like olives, and then you try a couple and you go, what was I worried about?
Karl also seems to be developing more of a taste for Twitter.
I'll sign in again, just to see if Stephen has got back to me. So I sent the message saying Steve Guttenberg has a birthday on that day. Then he's going on about, I'm in a Greek restaurant in Midtown Manhattan. Very scrummy. See, what I don't get is, all this, it's clear now that he's not in his house. He could get his house robbed, because everyone knows he's in New York. I wouldn't tell anyone anything. He said, I'm not doing this. They don't need to know. So basically then, he hasn't got back to me. These are just all group messages.
Having so far failed to make friends with Stephen Fry, Karl decides to find out who else he might be able to chum up with on Twitter.
There's a lot of people on there that you'd expect, but then one that I sort of came across and I thought, what's he doing on there? What's he doing on Twitter? Alan Bennett. Alan Bennett on Twitter. He must be what? He must be in his 70s. Surely he's got enough friends, true friends that he's known along the years. He doesn't need any new ones. I didn't think, he'd have time in his life for, talking to numbnuts all over the place.
If you went to a load of train spotters and said, there are no more trains, but you can still meet up here every Tuesday and chat, they'd be happy with that. Because really, they're finding each other. It's all about sort of companionship, or knowing you're part of the world.
Ricky Gervais is responding to Carl's suggestion that life will be better with no friends at all.
You're in a hut in the Outer Hebrides. I don't know, how is that being alive, really? If there's absolutely no interaction between you and the rest of the world, and I mean on a personal level, I mean with another human being.
Yeah, but you're making it... I'm not talking about living on a hill and being able to walk about in just my underpants because no one's ever going to see me.
Yeah.
I'm talking about...
Why have your underpants on?
Well, there could be something. I'm just saying someone could pass and go, hello, and then the first thing they see is me walking around with my tackle out. I just don't think it's...
But who are they
there's no
gonna tell?
problem wearing underpants. They're comfy pants. The ones I get are very, you know, they're never a problem.
You're not a fan of nudists, are you?
I don't
See, they
like
meet
it.
up. They make friends. Other nudists, they go along and they go, look, we're all in the same boat here. None of us like clothes.
Well, they say that, but then they're wearing a hat, or they've got a rucksack on, or flip-flops.
Yeah,
It's just the pants they don't like. That's the only bit. They're not nudists, they're pant-haters. They're quite happy, they've got a beard. That's like wearing clothes to me. That's a balaclava. Have a shave. And down there. I'd rather have no mates than a bloke who goes, I've seen an Intercity 128 today, not interested, leave me alone. And maybe I'll look back on this little venture, you know, I'll look back in years to come and think, why did I want Stephen as a mate? What was I thinking? Just in the same way in King Kong, where that woman, you know, knocks about with the ape and the ape thinks he's going to get off with a woman. It's like, it's never going to happen. Forget it. Maybe that's what it's like with Stephen. I don't know which one's the ape. Basically, the you know, long and short of it is, he still hasn't got back to me. And we're on day 3 now.
Danny Wallace is keen to help Carl become friends with Stephen Fry through Twitter.
But what are you going to do about Stephen Fry then? I mean,
He's not even acknowledging me.
I think to get his attention, what perhaps you should do is say something funny, or come up with something interesting that's like a gift to him.
Well, I told him the other day, it was his birthday the other day, I said, you share it with Steve Guttenberg.
Okay.
Nothing.
Right. Okay.
Nothing back.
Or you know, you sort of along those lines maybe, but maybe less Gutenberg based.
Although disappointed that he hasn't had any personal contact from Stephen Fry, Carl at least learns from Twitter that Stephen has been eating out again. This time with a film director who Carl hasn't heard of.
Fred Schweppes. So I'll just say, which Fred Schweppes film would you recommend? Oops, it's capitals. That's shouting, isn't it, if you write in capitals? That's probably what I'll be doing by the end of the week. Well, I sort of chased the Alan Bennett thing because I thought, you know, if I was to do Twitter, I'd be quite good having Alan Bennett as a mate, wouldn't it? Because he seems a bit like me. I can imagine him not having that many mates, you know. I sort of look at myself as almost like a slug, bit of a loner. You know, you always see a slug on its own, you never see him in pairs, just always sort of climbing up a wall on its own. And Alan Bennett's a bit like that. Got in touch, turns out it wasn't him, which is an odd thing, isn't it? I don't know why someone would join up Twitter to make friends as someone else.
Do you want to go and have a look at some of my tweets?
Let's have a look. Yeah. All right then. So what? When you said you...
After discovering that Alan Bennett's identity has been stolen, Carl asks David Baddiel whether celebrities face any other risks on Twitter.
What happens if they think, oh, David's really friendly, I'm going to track him down?
Yeah, well, that would be bad. And also, I'll tell you what also happened once. He's gone away now. But I got tweeted, I mean, you know, assuming it was true, from a bloke who was in Broadmoor.
Really?
A bloke sent me a really odd, he's in here somewhere, odd, sinister tweet that said, "Hello David, I've always liked you. Think you might be a good person to tweet. I'm in Broadmoor." And then he next tweet said, "Guess who's sitting next to me? Go on, you'll never guess." And I didn't say anything, but I thought, well, it's a Yorkshire Ripper, isn't it? It's got to be. Yeah, that's who's in Broadmoor. Or Dennis Nielsen, I think, might be there too.
That's an odd one to sort of say you'd never guess. It's kind of...
Yeah, it is odd. But I suppose if you're in Broadmoor, that's the way of, like, you know...
But then again, you see, a part of me would be quite interested to hear from someone who's got a totally different life to me.
Right.
Carl, apart from Suzanne, your girlfriend, have you got a better mate than me in the world?
Well, I've got like my mate from school, the one mate I keep in touch with, and I use him as like almost like a memory stick.
Do you remember Mark Royal from school?
Yeah.
This is what he looks like now.
That isn't Mark Royal.
Laurie Peters is the only friend Carl is still in contact with from school.
So everyone's going to see that who haven't seen him for a while and think that's him.
And has Mark Royal said anything to you about that? Has he seen that?
Yeah, he's not that happy about it.
Carl is hoping Laurie can shed some more light on the appeal of Twitter.
Well, wouldn't your mum like to know if she was on Twitter and you was on Twitter and she got alerted to your every, your little quips that happen in the day?
I speak to my mum and dad like every day. Not for long, for like, might be 5 minutes, and it's normally, what have you been up to? And they've been playing cards, and they'll say, oh, your Auntie Nora's fell over again. Right, that's kind of the general chat. And I don't like going over what I've been up to, because I've been through it. If anything, it would do my head in, because I'd realise how dull my life is.